My name is Crystal McAllister,
And I'm Latasha Wynn.
and we'll be providing you information with the midterm questions. Have you ever been stereotyped, and how was you stereotyped? And can you explain the situation and how it made you feel?
Yes, I have been stereotyped before. I was actually shopping in an upscale neighborhood, and just because I was black and um, I was actually being followed around the store, and on the way leaving out, me and another customer left out, which she was white. The alarm went off, and when the alarm went off, I was stopped, but she continued on, and they asked me for my receipt but didn't ask her for anything when I've clearly purchased everything that was in my bag.
Okay. Moving on to the second question. Can you tell me about a time when you stereotyped someone yourself, and once you got to know them, you realized what you completely thought about them was wrong?
Yes, I have actually working in a call center environment. I looked at someone by their name, and because their name that they had was considered ghetto, I did think that they were ghetto. But once I got to know that person, I realized that they were very educated and had a good heart.
Okay. Third question. Can you tell me about a time when you stereotyped someone and you realized that you were actually right about what you thought about them?
Yes, I have. Actually, speaking to someone over the phone, working in a call center environment also, because the person was from up north, and you can tell that they were Caucasian. The language that they used, and when I actually put the person on hold, I did hear them clearly say, "This nigger," excuse my language, don't know anything.
So you already had kind of felt that they were racist when you talked to them?
Yes, by the comments that they were making, gal, and just the way that they were speaking to me.
Okay. My fourth question. Do you think stereotyping is a form of racism, and can you explain your answer?
I don't think it's a form of racism. I actually think that it is a form of, well, it's actually a lack of knowledge. And you actually have to get to know a person before you make a judgment on them.
So would you say that's in the same category of when they calling a black person a nigger? And racism, so many people think that it's a color thing. So you would state that it's more than just, and it goes beyond color?
It goes way beyond color.
Now, when was you when you were stereotyped? Did it make you change your mind on stereotyping people yourself? Explain your answer, or explain if it hasn't made you change your.
It actually did make me think, because you would have to get to know a person to know their views and everything before you can just put them in a category or dislike them for a certain reason or treat them a certain way. You have to get to know a person's and their personality.
So it's pretty much almost like saying that you have to read the book instead of judging it by its cover?
Correct.
Okay. Now, the reason that I chose this topic was not too long ago, I was stereotyped, and it made me feel somewhat upset and hurt. I know racism still goes on in the world today, but I had never been stereotyped or even went through part of being racism or judged. I work in Deer Park, and one day I went to a store which was HEB. I stopped there just to pick up some lunch meat and some things on my way back to work. And when I went into the HEB, I could see everybody staring at me. And I thought maybe, hey, it was just me. So I didn't too much say anything. But then as I walked farther down the aisles, I saw an older couple, which was Caucasian. They start whispering to each other. And I could hear the man saying, "Where did she come from?" And I tried to pay it no mind. I continued shopping and just thought that they were ignorant, because it is now 2013, and this was not even over a month ago. So I continued shopping and didn't pay them any mind. So I go down the aisle to actually get some soup as what I was looking for, and it was a young man with his basket and his child in front of the soup that I was looking at. And instead of him just, while I'm looking at the soup, instead of him passing by and saying, excuse me, he just actually passed and stopped right there where I was at, right where I was looking at. He didn't continue. He didn't say, excuse me. He didn't say anything. If I tell you that was the worst day of my life, when I got back to work, I actually explained to my coworkers how I was really upset. And primarily in Deer Park, it is Caucasians and Hispanics. And my two coworkers, one of them is Caucasian and the other one is Hispanic. And all they could do was just say that they apologized, that I had to actually, they apologized that I had to go through something like that. It just made me feel like the world today should be much smarter than how it was decades ago. But it also made me see that in some parts of the town or some parts of the city that people are still ignorant to color, to stereotyping, and to other aspects of racism and stereotyping people. This is my conclusion for my midterm on the subject of stereotyping and how it feels to be stereotyped. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and I hope if anyone has ever been stereotyped or racism, that they, or if they do, that they can realize that it's not nothing that you've done, and it's not nothing wrong with you, that it's actually something wrong with the person that is actually stereotyping or being racism towards you.